Well, g'day guys. It's been over 2 months since I've done a YouTube. It's good to see you again, although I can't see you. Well, it's probably what you might be good to see me. Anyway, I've been well, fat as usual. So see, fat, still fat. Now, what I wanted to share today was I've been doing lots of work for some galleries and all that sort of stuff, and probably not so much in the way of tips or ideas or anything like that. And although I have grown a little bit of a different kind of beard, I'm just sort of developing something here, a bit of a general Custer look. Now, what I want to talk about today was moving big items, big sheets, stuff like that, because I've got an opportunity to do some. I'm walking around, of course, making you dizzy, but I got an opportunity to put some tables in one of the galleries. Now, I avoided wanting to do tables because to do tables on your own is pretty hard, especially with some of these Aussie timbers. And I managed to get myself some really nice iron bark tops, 1500 by 900 by 50 millimeters, and man, are they heavy, those babies. I've got one of those trolleys which I think I've shown you guys before, and I'll just flick this around. See, that's one of my trolleys. That's my trolley. That's a jack up thing, and that's really good. At the moment, it's covering a coffee table I've sort of made it out of a slab going to one of the galleries. However, I've got these really big, I'll flick it back here. I've got these really big slabs, and I'm thinking, Steve, what are you doing? How am I going to carry them? That's why I was doing coffee tables and, hall tables. But the thing about carrying big stuff or moving big stuff around is being clever. Now, that trolley, which I showed you, the wind-up trolley, which is really great because it means I can lay a very heavy board, sheet across that. It can handle 1800 by 900 or 1000 or even 1200 wide. Just careful, if I do carefully, I can jack it up, no problems at all, to put it on my bench to work on it. Flipping it over means I've got to slide it back, take it out, turn it over carefully, but I can do it. Now the problem is, it's when you try to move it in a vertical sense when you haven't got the trolley. Like for instance, when I get to a gallery, the legs are separate, they're a separate construction I have, and you get to the gallery, you slide the board out, but how are you going to carry it into the gallery? The little lady in the gallery goes, oh, there's no one around to help, so you're still by yourself. So anyway, I've made this little, well, I've had up till now, and I'll show you this one. I've had up to now this little thing. This is kind of good for, sheet goods, but as soon as you hit sort of some kind of a rut, the wheels are quite small, but it's still pretty good, it's not too bad, but you've got to hold one end of the sheet up, so the sheet sits in it like this, and you've got to hold the other end up, which means you've still got a bit of an exertion there. I guess you could probably use two of them, but the boards, I've known it from before, the board sometimes slips back and forward in here, and you can sort of wreck the edge. Now I've got all other sort of trolleys, but they're okay for sheet goods. But now when you're dealing with something like a really heavy door or a, one of these tabletops, this is where this little baby comes in. And here it is, the inaugural special, carpeted. I got some of this rubber back carpet from the DIY store. Lined it on the bottom, lined it on the sides and on the top. I've just screwed it down on the top because that's, the board's not going to sit on that, but I've glued it down here and I've screwed it into the end here, so when the board slides over it, I don't have a sharp edge. So what I did was I got one of these, which is a 10 millimeter foot, which is you can use for adjustable feet. I put in one of these inserts, the threaded insert, which is sort of shown here, threaded insert, which is 10 mil. That's 10 mil. I got this is a 3/8 end, and of course it doesn't fit the thread, but I've squeezed it so tight it's now jammed, so now it's adjustable. So it's really cool. I put these outriggers on here and on here just to give it a bit of support when I screw it up. But here's your represents your board. Just screw it in. You got the rubber block to protect your board. Now your board, there we go, filling firmed up because the carpet's got a bit of give. Now, what I did was, I'll flip it over. I've just put 4 cheap casters that 4 casters I had floating around, and just make sure that the casters, when the 4 of them are spinning, they don't actually hit each other in any which way. And I like the idea of them being able to do this, go every which way, because when you're just tracking one way, I find it's difficult. Where now it works a treat. I just tried it with one of the blackwood tops, which you can see sort of over there. They're again 50mm thick. They're pretty heavy, but not too bad. But I tried one as a test. It worked absolutely perfect. But I think it works even better because the tops are big. So it's even going to work better when I make a second one. So I'm going to make another one now. So I have one at one end, one at the other end. From there on, I'll show you a demonstration how it deals with a really, really heavy board. Now I'm talking that board, the tabletop that I'm talking about, is maybe, I don't know, 40 kilos, 50 kilos. It's ironbark. I mean, it's really heavy. It's really, really heavy timber. So, but this is tough as old Nick. I made it out of, flick it around again. I made it out of 3/4 ply. Over here, it's 25mm, I think, ply. I had some scraps hanging around. So there you go. It was just a little bit of a scrap project. Just had the casters hanging around already. I think the casters, you know, I actually think I even got the casters from Audi, but maybe not. Maybe they were from Bunnings, or the DIY store for those who don't have a Bunnings. But I think the key is fold this over so you don't scratch your board, because you're going to put in a finished board into this. And, well, I'm going to give it a go. It's either that or I can't supply tabletops. And a bloke's got to make a living. Not much design work these days. Getting too old for it now, I guess. See, now I've grown the woodworker's beard and mustache. I guess I have to be a woodworker now and earn less money. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'll probably see you in another 2 months' time. Okay, cheers.